said you're not here.
Yes, I'm not. I sneak around. I do try. You'll have to excuse me, I get nervous in front of people, so bear with me. All right, well, I'm glad to be back. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been a long time since I've been up here, so it's kind of weird. But I just kind of wanted to come here today and tell y'all how everyth's been the past couple months, past semester that I've been at Dallas Baptist University. It's an awesome place. If you're looking for a place to go to college, go there, because it's good. That's my little bit of promo. So a couple things that I'm involved in at DBU. I'm a part of the drama team. It's where we come together, we make skits like the ones that y'all seen up here with the youth, and we get to make those, and we go out to youth groups around the area, and we do a gospel presentation with different types of dramas. Another thing that I'm involved in is my work. I work at a elementary school. It's a private school, and I'm one of the aftercare workers. So any of you who have ever been in childcare, will be in childcare now, God bless you. It's just what it is. And another thing that I'm in is it's a mentoring group. It's called Stonehouse. I applied for it back in the summer, and it's a housing situation where a bunch of guys live on a hall, and we meet once a week on Thursdays to just go through different types of mentoring things. So last semester, we went through Dietrich Bonhoeffer's book, Life Together, and it was all about Christian community and how we as Christians were supposed to bring ourselves together, to lift each other up, and to work towards the goal of being together in Christ. And one of my favorite quotes from this book, it says, Christian community is like the Christian sanctification. It's a gift from God which we cannot claim. Only God knows the real state of our fellowship, of our sanctification. What may appear weak and trifling to us may be great and glorious to God. Just as Christians should not be constantly feeling his spiritual pulse, so to the Christian community has not been given by God for us to constantly be taking its temperature. The more thankfully we daily receive what is given to us, the more surely and steadily will the fellowship increase and grow from day to day as God pleases. Within the first week of my being there, I went down a week early before class started to do this thing called Summer Bridge program, and I was able to take a week-long class and get credit for it, as long as meet people along the way. And the first day I get there, I'm just going around meeting people, and I meet this guy that actually lives a couple doors down from me. His name is Ian Harbour. And right off the bat, we hit it off really well, and till this day now we're really close friends, and he's really the best friend I could ever ask for. And so throughout the way up till now, we just talk to each other. But within that first week, we rather instead of at other places where you might exchange phone numbers, we exchanged life verses in the Bible. That's kind of a DBU thing to do. Instead of like serenaded with love songs, you serenade with worship songs. It's just a DBU thing, I guess. But anyway, so we were exchanging life verses, and we were talking about just what we believe and how our life has been affected by the church and by our spiritual walk with God. And he says, well, I want to read you mine. I don't want to talk about it. I just dropped the pen. And so this is what he says. It's Ecclesiastes 3:11. And it says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. And I really love the way that's worded. I love how it says that God makes everything beautiful in its own time. Because if you would have told me a year ago today that I would be living at Dallas Baptist University and in a fellowship with other believers in a community that was so tight that every day I was encouraged by people who went to school with me, I would have not believed you. Many of you know the struggles that I had to go through last semester of school in high school, where I didn't feel fellowship with the people that I was with, and it was always a negative situation. And if you would have told me that I would be in a place where I am at now, I would not have believed you. That's the testimony of that verse, is that God makes everything beautiful in its own time. That back then I was not able or ready to receive the blessing of community that God wanted to give me. And it makes me look back at all the various situations of my life where God has made everything beautiful in its own time that I never really put together. But, say that if my dad hadn't have got the job at Holiday all those many years ago, I wouldn't have come to school here. If I wouldn't have come to school here, I would have met some of my friends that led me to the church down the road at First Baptist Holiday. And then if we hadn't met those friends, then my parents and my sister wouldn't have come here. If they wouldn't have come here, I would have never got to meet so many of you. If Kaylee hadn't gone to Yucatan on that mission trip, I would have never met Danny for the first time while we walked around and shared the gospel with people, which started a movement in my life to show a passion for loving people and sharing the gospel. And if all these other things wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't have gone on a chrysalis, which is where I met so many other people of you and also sparked my life on my path to wanting to be a pastor. And I look at all these situations that wouldn't have led up to DBU or anything else in my life, and I might be at a totally different place right now. I might be at a totally different school, totally different place of life. I don't even know how much of my Christian walk would actually be real or if I'd be following the Lord in everything that I do. And I look back at all that, and I'm just thankful that God truly does make everything beautiful in its own time. And so that's really my testimony of what's going on in my life right now, is that I am just so thankful for all of you, for instilling in me the values of my life, and I'm thankful for the people at DBU who are pouring into me constantly, and how it's all just so beautiful. So I guess if there's any challenge that you might want to take away from this, is that if you're in a point right now where things aren't beautiful, know that God makes everything beautiful. He doesn't just take some things and make it pretty. He doesn't just take one thing and make it beautiful, but every single aspect of your life, God will take and make beautiful in its own time if you're patient and you wait on Him and you follow Him with all your heart. So, thank you all.